Let's see the figure 2.8 is illustrative of the findings. On the x-axis, income data are plotted the initial year. In this case, it is the 1960. While on the y-axis, the growth rate of real income is plotted. In this case, it is the over the following 25 years. If there were convergence, there would be a tendency for the point plotted to show a clear negative relationship, with the lower income countries going faster in the subsequent period. But as figure 2.8, the figure shown, it makes clear there is no tendency toward convergence. In fact, if anything, there has been a slight tendency for the countries to grow more slowly than the rich countries. This is reflected in the aggression line in the diagram, which is the statistician's choice of the line that the best fits this data. So, the figure 2.8 is naglalarawan siya kung ano yung pwede natin matuklasan sa studies na ito. Sa x-axis, ang data ng kita ay nakaplot sa unang taon, which is the 1960. While on the other hand, habang sa y-axis, ang rate ng paglago ng totoong kita ang pinapakita, which is over the 25 years. Kung magkakaroon ng convergence, if ever, magkakaroon ng tendency para sa mga puntong nakaplot na magpapakita ng malinaw na negative relations. Kung saan, ang mga bansang may mababang kita ay mas mabilis na lumalago sa kasunod na panahon. Ngunit, gaya ng sa diagram is walang tendency ng convergence. Bakit? Sa katunayan, kung mayroon man is nagkaroon ng bahagya, based dyan sa diagram is nagkaroon ng bahagyang tendency para sa mga bansa na umunlad ng mas mabagal kaysa sa mayayamang bansa. However, in figure 2.8b, so kabilang naman is the 20 high income o OECD countries are removed from figure 2.8a and plotted separately. Here we clearly see convergence. One explanation is that all of these countries have similar features, including a relatively early start at modern economic growth. This makes the countries more available to borrow technology from each other, as well as trade with and invest in each other's economies. We might include that if developing countries closely follow the institutions and policies of these OECD economies, they might converge as well. However, as we have seen, there are many institutional and other differences between low and high income economies today, some of which may be very difficult to change, as we explore further in the next section. Moreover, a poor country cannot force a rich to lower its trade barriers. In any case, one must draw conclusion from the result with great caution because of the selection bias. That is, among today's rich countries, some were relatively rich in the past and some were relatively poor. In order for them all to be rich countries today, the poor countries had to have grown faster than the rich ones, simply as matter of the logic. Thus, confining attention just to the rich countries commit the statistical error of selection bias. Nevertheless, the strong evidence for among the OECD countries, together with the failure to find convergence of the world as a whole, particularly divergence for the least developed countries, is likely one of reflection of the difference in growth condition between now developed and developing countries. So, dito naman is pinapakita kung ano ang pinagkaiba ng 2.8a figure kay 2.b figure. Dito makikita natin ng malinaw na meron tayong makikita na convergence na wala sa 2.a. Ang isang paliwanag ay ang lahat ng mga bansang ito ay may katulad ng mga tampok. Kabilang ang isang medyo magaang pagsisimula sa modernong paglago ng ekonomiya. Dahil dito, mas mas nakakahiram ang mga bansa ng mga technologies sa iba pang bansa or nakakapag-trade sila ng mga kanilang mga negosyo or anything. Maaari nating tapusin na kung ang mga umuunlad na bansa ay malapit sa sumusunod na mga institutions at patakaran ng sumusunod sa mga institutions or patakaran ng OECD, since ang figure 2.8 is the OECD samples, while the figure 2.8 is the world samples. So kapag sumusunod sila sa OECD institutions, maaari ring silang magtagpo. Gayunpaman, maaaring magkaroon ng convergence. Gayunpaman, tulad ng nakikita natin sa figure 2.8b, is that maraming institutional at iba pang mga pagkakaiba sa pagitan ng mga ekonomiyang mababa at sa mga economies na may mga mababa at matataas na rates. Ang ilan sa mga ito is may maaaring napakahirap baguhin, though susunod sila sa OECD na institution. Habang while we are exploring, or habang nag-explore pa tayo And bukod dito is hindi mapipilit ng mga poor countries, yung mga rich countries na ibaba yung mga babaan yung mga kalakalan nila. So, sa anumang kaso, in any cases, ang isa ay dapat there are one country or may isang country na dapat gumawa ng conclusions mula sa mga results ng mga malaking pag-iingat dahil sa bias na pagpili. Ibig sabihin, it means that yung mga mayayamang bansa, yung mga rich countries today is ang ilan ay may medyo mayaman sa nakaraan, ang ilan ay may medyo mahirap. Upang sila ay lahat ay maging mayamang bansa, yung both countries is ang may hirap na bansa, yung mga poor country is kailangan nilang umunlad ng mas mabilis kaysa sa mga yayaman bansa. Kumbaga, kailangan yung growing economy nila, yung growing rates nila is dapat mas mabilis siya compare sa rich country, kasi di nila maaabutan yung growing economy ng rich country kung mabagal yung pag-unlad nila. Kaya kinakailangan nilang doblehin yung pag-unlad nila sa normal rate na pag-unlad nila. Gayunpaman, ang matibay na ebidensya para sa pakikipag-ugnayan sa mga bansa ng OECD kasama ang kabiguan na makahanap ng pagkakaisa para sa mundo sa kabuuan. Particularly na ang pagkakaiba para sa mga hindi ganong maunlad na mga bansa ay malamang na isang salamin ng pagkakaiba sa mga kondisyon ng paglago sa pagitan ng mga umuunlad na bansa at maunlad na bansa. The recent high growth in China and India, which represent over a third of the world's population, globally portended at least a limited reconvergence. For example, in the 1990-2003 period, while income grew 24% in high-income OECD countries, it grew 56% in South Asia and 196% in China. This growth spurt still left this region far behind the rich countries, but they are clearly a long-run path to catch up. Indeed, the world is currently experiencing the per capita income convergence. The average citizen in the developing world is catching up with the average citizen in the developed world. However, many of the poorest countries remain in relative stagnation. Poor developing countries were not catching up with the richer ones in the 1995 to 2005 decade. As seen in Figure 2.9, moreover, even though China and South Asia grew faster than high-income OECD countries from 1990 to 2003, these gains were similar in absolute amount due to the relatively low starting levels as illustrated in Figure 2.10. So that's all, and thank you.